welcome to You're Wrong About Musicals. I'm Esme.
And I'm Nell.
Stop mocking me now.
I've actually done that every single
Have
week,
you?
and you've never noticed.
Well, we've not been in person. We're in person again
We're in
today.
person.
I'm visiting now.
If we had the camera on,
Mm.
you would be able. I can see it in the camera we have. There is a Newsies banner, two Phantom of the Opera posters, and just a little bit of the Hadestown poster in my background.
Yep.
And then also some David Bowie, and you can see just the corner of the FKM one as well.
Yeah.
My room's beautiful, guys.
It's very well decorated in here. It's more decorated than my uni room was.
There's no mold either.
The mold's not my fault. Okay? Take it up the Bristol housing. And they ain't gonna do anything because there's so many cases of mold. Love Bristol, does have mold. We have some news. There's not a lot because it's summer and people don't want to be doing stuff over summer. Yeah, Joe Lock Placer.
That's piece of news number 3.
Nice. Housekeeping though, because it is summer and some people are going on holiday. Me.
Not me. I'm locked into the grind of the podcast.
Sure.
That's the reason.
There might not be an episode next week.
We haven't decided yet.
Or the week after.
We haven't decided
Okay,
yet.
the likelihood of there being an episode next week is higher than there being one next week.
The week after.
The week after. But we take a 2-week break at Christmas. It only makes sense that we take a break at summer because I'm very busy at the moment. So the fact that there's been episodes the past 2 weeks is kind of impressive.
Yeah, the thing was we were like possibly meant to pre-record this week and then we forgot. So we might pre-record next week if we can be bothered, basically.
No, it's more like if we have the time and our schedules work out.
Yeah.
Because you're working and then I'm graduating and then going to Canada.
Yeah.
So next time we speak, guys, I will officially have a Bachelor of Science, believe it or not,
Incredible.
in social policy. Don't ask why it's Bachelor of Science, that's not important. It's
They will graduate 2 weeks after you?
yeah. Yeah, I think so. It's on the calendar somewhere.
Something like that.
Something like that. Yeah, we've been busy living lives, breathing air. We'll tell you about some of it. Let's talk about the news first, though.
Can I say you have not at any point mentioned what episode we're doing?
Oh my God, it's Sound of Music. Oh my God, it's the Sound of Music. Hey, guys, it's the Sound of Music.
Guys, we're doing the Sound of Music.
Guys, we're doing the Sound of Music. And
this is like last week where you just didn't say bye at the end.
if you can't tell, I am very tired and kind of losing my mind right now.
She's really fun to be around, though.
Yeah, I'm fun to be around because I'm losing my mind.
Once you get to know her.
Once you get to know her, I'm really fun. I'm even dressed up for the occasion. I am wearing like a white blouse.
She put that on 5 minutes ago.
I put that on 5 minutes ago because I was like I have to get on a train today and I was like I don't want to be wearing as low cut of a dress. Like it's fine for the beach.
We've been at the beach.
We've been at the beach. And then I also did my hair and I was like, Jesus, I look like a traditional Austrian woman.
So we're doing the Sound of Music.
And as we're probably going to discuss today, I've spent quite a bit of time in Austria. Some could say too much. But let's do the news beforehand. First off, Brody Grant to leave The Outsiders in September. That's a long time between the two. Because I don't feel like normally it's as long.
Yeah?
Because normally it's like a couple weeks at most. But
I mean,
he's been in the show a while.
he also hasn't been performing in it.
I think he has
regularly.
an alternate to sing the Great Expectations song. I don't do that. I don't know.
I'm going up. Do you like the house across the road that keeps their window open with a book?
I worry about the book though.
I think it's an old one.
Okay, good. No, I don't really pay attention to what goes on in The Outsiders because whenever I do find out what goes on at The Outsiders, I'm like, oh Jesus fucking Christ.
It scares me a little bit.
Outsiders fandom, you guys scare me. I'm too old.
Do you know who's reading the book?
I
The
will read
Outsiders.
The Outsiders.
Do you know who's reading it?
Who's
right
reading? That's such a rogue book.
now? I know.
Can they give me the copy? I want to read it.
They're probably gonna listen. We'll keep Find My Friends open because I reckon they're coming around today because one of my other friends is coming around today.
Oh, really?
I
Oh,
have a
yeah, you're
friend,
saying.
he does live here.
Yeah,
So
person who lives here.
person who lives here is coming here.
Person who lives here is coming back to their home.
So we have to. Esme's getting kicked out.
No, I've got stuff to do. Like, what have I got to do? Pack, clean my house.
Boring stuff.
Really boring admin. That's what I've got to do, actually. Um, Now this is massive news, and we did talk about it a little bit last week, but we're going to talk about it again this week because this is kind of okay. I've been joking basically all year that this is going to be the event of the summer, and then it kind of has turned out to be the event of the summer in
Yeah.
so many ways. What are they saying about Dana? That's a good fucking amazing joke. Anyway, time to talk about it. I've been joking that it's the event of the summer, and now it has actually become the event of the summer.
Yeah. Manifesting.
Manifesting. It's all to do with me. And we saw it. It was my third time, and I'm going a fourth time. No, I don't want to talk about why.
So you've actually not said the name of the show yet?
We went to go see Evita.
We saw Evita.
We saw Evita. How was it now?
It was really, really good.
It was outstanding. I knew exactly what was going to happen at the end, and I saw it.
I really enjoyed it.
Yep.
I really loved at the opening of Act 2 when Perrin comes in his baby blue suit.
Which time? Which time? Because he has. Okay, so basically, famous in the interval, me and Nell were having discussions about it, and I was like, "Oh, did you see when Che did this?" No, I was looking at Rachel.
She like pointed out several things. Like, did you see when this happened with Perrin? Did you see when like Che did this? And I was like, "Girl, Rachel has not left that stage yet. I have not looked at a single man on the stage. I've looked at Bella Brown a bit, but
Pay no respects to Bella Brown. Don't you worry.
My focus has
Bella
been
Brown and her hideous blue wig. Jamie Lloyd deserves to go to prison for that. But no, now what I think you literally said to me, well, whispered to me while it was happening. He's really getting into this. Are you
No. Okay. He comes on after the interval before Don't Cry For Me, and he's in a baby blue suit, like a regular suit.
Yes. Yeah.
And he does
his little
really
suit.
weird
His little suit. His like very intense staring down the mic. Yeah.
And I was like, I really fucked with this. And then he fucks off, and I was like, Rachel, oh my god, Rachel. And then he comes back for the Rainbow Tour.
And let me just say, Nell was kind of like, yeah, sure, whatever. When I first watched Evita, I was like, Rainbow Tour fucking slaps.
And I was like, sure, it's Rainbow Tour. And then he comes up, and he's got Prom has this massive like beaming smile on his face. He's getting into the dance.
He's so gassed.
He's really getting into this. He's like really into this.
And it's the first time he gets to dance because like Ava and Che dance constantly. The fact that they're still able to sing like that while they're dancing that much is, again, a credit to them. They both need Olivier nominations, if not wins.
And do you know what other Olivier nominations?
Yeah, we've been talking about this. We're actually like we're like pretty set on like all of the other major categories of like revival. You know, fuck it, musical contribution for the score sounding like that because it's epic. Rachel, Diego,
Perron's over there if you need it.
Perron,
whatever his name may be.
James Olivas. Lighting makes sense, but the one which we were joking about before,
we made a one-off joke about set, and then we were like, it's obviously not getting set. There really isn't a set.
Yeah.
Apart from the big letters, and even that I feel like lends itself more to the lighting nomination. There's not really a set.
Before we saw it, I was like, Vita will never get a costume nomination. But it should, because is it most costume or best costume?
Yeah. Quality over quantity.
Quality over quantity.
The costuming has a lot of implications. It has a lot of meaning.
Specifically Prone's little sunglasses.
Specifically the little sunglasses and baby blue suit. That means a lot to me.
It's the only, like, outside of, like, how great Rachel is, and I cannot overstate how amazing she is in this role, it's the only thing Nell's been talking about.
I've been like, yeah, I think the show's pretty good. I like this implication. I had a lot to say about Another Suitcase of Another.
And don't get us started on Another Suitcase.
I have a lot of thoughts.
Most of them are like structural issues with Evita.
Yeah, like, my issue is not with this production, it's with Evita as a like idea.
It's like an Andy and Rice beef.
And then I thought of a way to fix it, and it's simply to have me play Shay, basically.
That would be
Basically,
me level.
No, I explained this to you, and I think
You
it makes
did
sense.
explain it to me, but I'm still like,
I think it, culturally it would be wrong.
yeah, for
But
you to play Che Guevara, it would be very
check that program. That's not what he's listed as.
Che.
He's just Che.
He's not Che Guevara. Cuban Revolution.
Listen, is Che Guevara Cuban revolutionary? Yes.
Yes. Guys, Vita is
This is a big joke between us.
Vita has always been a bit mental, and it's just taken Jamie Lloyd to like fully embrace the insanity of Vita. And everyone's like, why is there a breakdance happening?
Anyways,
The military coup.
yeah, I really loved Evita. I think it was really, really good. My two main points were I fucking love Rachel Zegler.
Yeah.
Really like the baby blue suit, everyone's little dance. And that's the important part.
She has nothing else to say on Che except
I cannot lie to you. I think Diego's a very accomplished actor.
yeah.
I did not watch him for a second on that stage.
He's like, you can tell he's just kind of a goofy guy because he was like having so much fun with it.
Yeah. The bit I remember most about him was when he was like, some say the military will soon be the Constitution, some say. Notably the military.
But the part before that where he's like, don't you just love the hum of a good, strong military? Rice got the jokes.
He was funny. Anyways, in fact, Evita was so good that we stage doored it.
Yeah, we did.
We got 3 signatures. You'll never guess whose.
You guys will never guess whose. And it was actually really well organized stage door.
Mm-hmm.
But because it was well organized, it reminded me of why I don't do stage dooring.
I was stuck behind the most annoying girl in the world. She was a 13-year-old American girl, and she just, every time she said something, she pissed me off. Like, I kept, like, looking at, we got separated, basically.
Yeah.
And I kept, like, looking over at Esme and being like, this fucking girl. And then her dad was stood next to me, and I'm going to be sorry with her, I was looking at his phone. Because for some reason, James Corden was at the same performance we were at. We didn't know.
Yeah.
But I looked down at...
There apparently was Andrew Garfield.
Okay.
Or Jonathan Bailey. One of those two.
Jonathan Bailey, because you
There's
texted me
Jonathan
about
Bailey,
it.
I texted you about it.
But this guy and his annoying daughter, the guy had a photo of him and James Corden, and he was like, he'd posted it on Facebook, and he just like kept opening Facebook to check how the post was doing, and
Yeah.
I had to really respect that because I do the same thing.
There was a guy in front of me who had a photo of Donald Finn as Orpheus as his lock screen. And I was like, that's crazy.
We met many characters at the Avita stage store.
There was
When the two men came out,
Yes.
this one girl who was stood like kind of next to me but behind me
Yeah.
just elbowed me in the face to get her programmed. I was like, girl, I'll pass it over.
Like, James on the Mouse was actually so sweet. He's
really nice.
He was really, like, you could tell they're just like these two random American guys who have ended up in a theater.
Yeah.
Directed by Jamie Lloyd, who are just like, I don't actually know what the fuck's going on anymore.
Yeah. And Rachel was lovely. Oh my god.
She is.
Oh my god,
so
Rachel. Rachel.
Show it to me, Rachel. She was lovely. People were talking to his bodyguard like he was their friend.
He scares me.
I think we're supposed to be scared.
I have a level of respect for him.
I have a deep level of respect for him, and there was a moment where I was like, I'm not doing anything wrong, please don't get annoyed at me.
Yeah. This guy in between us by that point was being a real dick to her.
Oh yeah, I think he was like one of those like bot accounts that like is always taking video and is like gonna overlay it with like Rachel Zegler ran out of the room, and it's like no, she was actually just being an angel.
She was,
and the fact that she's standing enough to go outside and like be with the people.
Has she been at like Sabrina Carpenter?
Yeah, she'd been at Sabrina Carpenter the night before. And then she'd done Evita, which is famously one of the hardest scores to sing.
Yeah.
And she'd done it amazingly. Her acting was outstanding. And then she's like, I'm gonna go stage door now. I was like,
I'm gonna go say hi to everyone at the stage door. She was lovely.
she is mental in the best way possible. Um, Joe Locke in
Recording.
what? Oh my God, I can't believe I forgot about this.
It's in front of your face.
Jesus Christ, brain's gone out the window. Um,
They're releasing Don't Cry for Me Argentina tomorrow for us. It will have been out on Friday when this comes out.
yeah, and I'm running through the streets going, this is the best day of my
It's
life.
gonna be great.
It's gonna be so good. And they have, I hope, because they have two versions up. One of them is from the studio, and the other one is live from the balcony. And I hope we get to have Peron's little bit at the start.
I hope so.
I hope we get to have that all of that as interplay because I mean that build up and then you hear that lush orchestral string section. What did you think of the balcony scene?
I thought it was really good.
Yeah. I love the part with the Pretz on screen.
The Pret really made it for me.
Yeah. And it is quite epic seeing her.
Seeing the crowd as well was just kind of incredible.
Yeah.
Not a phone in sight.
Not a phone in sight.
Everyone enjoying.
Really enjoying the moment. My dad's pitch about what they should do for that was that they should all bring Argentinian flags
Yeah.
and put their phones away and really commit to playing Descamisados. Joe Locke, in a play on the West End, they've literally not announced dates or a location for it because that's the way we
probably don't have dates or a location for it.
I assume they have dates because I think Joe Locke is a bit busy. I don't know, Toby might listen to this.
I'm sure Joe Locke is very busy then.
Um, Dartnall season, no musicals, it's fine. They can't always be doing a musical that is the best thing I've ever seen in the whole entire world. You know?
Mm.
Sometimes they have to just do plays. I wonder if, because like, it's been basically every other year that the Dartnall are doing musical, and it is like the second coming of Christ to me. And I wonder if we're just not in a musical yet, but I do really love the work that the Dartnall do, and they always are very committed to theatre accessibility, and so I have to rate them highly for that. Okay, yeah, that's definitely very, very factual what you've just written down now. Kinky Boots to return to.
That's not what the note says.
That's not what the note says, but also I'm not reading out the next note.
Yes, you are. There's a reason Emily doesn't usually let me write down.
Okay, so now she has written down Kinky Boots kills the Great Gatsby, which it's factually incorrect and she knows it.
That's because I hate Kinky Boots.
She hates Kinky Boots. It's playing the Colosseum, so I was about to say like Kinky Boots to return to the West End, but the Colosseum technically kind of isn't the West End because the Colosseum is a opera house that, due to arts funding, has had to start putting on the Great Gatsby to make money.
And Kinky Boots.
And Kinky Boots. But I saw someone on TikTok be like, guys, why is the Great Gatsby closing? I'm so upset. I thought it was selling better.
Guys, the thing was, the Great Gatsby was always going to close the second there was an autumn breeze in the air.
Yeah.
The Great Gatsby was closing so that the Nutcracker could go and open.
Guys, the
As
Nutcracker.
it does every year.
Yeah, we've got to have some seasonal things. And yes, whilst there have been like short runs of musicals in the Colosseum, they are normally musicals that could be considered operas. Just
Sunset Boulevard.
like Sunset Boulevard, that are famously an opera. But that's only for like 3 days and not 6 months or whatever the Gatsby's been there for. Kingy Boots is doing a longer run than Gatsby did for some reason. Like it's opening in March and lasting until September. Till that chill autumn breeze arrives. Yeah. Okay, now again.
Read out this now.
Diva down.
And I just want to let everyone know that both of us know what that means.
Yeah, I went, what
This
does that
one
mean?
goes out to Tom Francis updates on Twitter.
Praying.
Guest account.
Thinking of you this trying week. Sorry that everyone thought that you stole the poster. Yeah, so Tom Francis had his final performance as Joe Gillis in
Whatever the fuck the show's usually called.
Sunset Boulevard. Um
Sunset.
this week would have been last week by the time this is happening. What else happened from it? Someone did steal the poster. A lot of people on Twitter think it was Tom Francis updates, but they've had to make several statements saying it was not them. Um yeah, I'm so
Just in a single, they replied to someone else asking. I need to find the actual response they had because it made me laugh so much last night.
they are
Oh,
one of the greatest minds of our generation, Tom Francis updates.
someone said, "Are we sure you didn't steal it? And this is just you throwing us off your trail."
Yeah.
A fair point. I go, you literally don't know how humbling it is that so many people are certain I am the one.
Um, what else do hopefully we can let Soda Scout die.
Yeah.
It was a funny bit, but it's over now. Devil Wears Prada 2 announced its casting. It's got some Broadway people in it, like Helen J. Shen, Tracy Toms, and Conrad Ricamora.
Yeah. It's gonna be great.
I'm very excited about Devil Wears Prada 2. Masquerade is continuing to be mental, and it's not even opened yet.
They put out a warning list.
Yeah.
And okay, on the one hand, the warning list is ridiculous.
Yeah.
On the other hand, people in America love to sue.
Mm-hmm.
So it's stuff like you accept that by buying tickets and like attending, uh, there is a risk that you get stampeded and
Yeah.
you could die from that.
Yeah.
I was like, well, likely that's not going to happen.
Like
But if
there.
it did happen, you can't then sue them
Yeah.
for being like, I was stampeded to death. They were also like, you might get a disease from other
Yeah.
patrons. You can't sue us for that.
There was like you might trip and fall in the fog.
Yeah, you might have emotional distress.
I'm suing Android Web for emotional distress for Evita.
Really?
Yeah. I was very upset last time we saw it because it was so good.
Oh,
Yeah. Snaps to Rachel. Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
you take this
I
one.
don't really want to talk about this, but we have to because it's actually really important. So after John Proctor as the villain is closing, and if you don't know, John Proctor as the villain is a play all about the Me Too movement and toxic masculinity and its effect on specifically teenage girls. I think that's a good summary of the themes of John
Yeah.
Proctor as the villain. And so after that closes at the Booth Theatre, there will be a play produced by Scott Rudin. Now, if you don't know who Scott Rudin is, he was, and I thought this was a past career of his, not one that he was going to return to, but you know, men can't stay away. Can't get them down for too long. Um, he was a producer who created a very allegedly, I think I have to say allegedly, um, very toxic work environment, and all these allegations came out around 2021. There was a protest against him. He was banned from a lot of things, and as the way these things unfortunately go, we are now kind of back where we started with him being allowed back to produce a play.
Yeah.
Would you say that's a good summary of where we are? Yeah, there's probably someone more eloquent with a bit more brain cells at their disposal who can help you with this one. Um, but yeah, it's not great. Obviously, none of this is, but yeah, I don't know where we go from here with this.
Mm.
Um, and also it's like, will enough people be tuned in to the goings on to not buy tickets for it? No. Especially if it's got like Lauren Metcalf in it. Who was in The Big Bang Theory?
We were talking about young Sheldon earlier.
As we often
We're
are.
not often talking about young
We were
Sheldon.
talking about Young Sheldon. You know they're doing another series.
Of young Sheldon.
No, in the Young Sheldon universe.
Yeah, George and Mandy's first
No,
marriage.
another one.
Really?
Yeah, it's about that guy who used to hang out in the comic book shop in Big Bang Theory. I know!
God.
I know. Basically, the young Sheldon and George Mandy's first marriage need to hire us as consultants.
I have many thoughts.
We have so many thoughts, feelings, and opinions. I've never seen an episode.
Young Sheldon.
I've seen many episodes of Young Sheldon.
Big Bang Theory.
I've seen many episodes of Big Bang Theory. George and Mandy's first marriage.
Oh.
You ever sat down and watched an episode of this? Okay, I need to get on that actually.
It's not bad.
No, I don't think it is. And Rachel Bay Jones is in it.
Yeah.
And I think she's probably. I think Rachel Bay Jones is funny. Shit, man. Um. Okay. Let's talk about The Sound of Music. The Hills Are Alive. I might just take the mic and start.
No, listen, bro. I'm not going to be saying anything until we get to the synopsis.
Okay. The Sound of Music is a musical with music by Richard Rodgers, lyrics by Oscar Hammerstein, and a book by Howard Lindsay. It is based on the life of the Von Trapp family, with Maria Sarah being born in January 1905. And after being orphaned at a young age, she was reportedly sent to live with an abusive uncle. She attended teachers' college where she rediscovered religion and converted to Catholicism before becoming a candidate for a novitiate in Salzburg. To quote Maria von Trapp herself, she was horrid and the worst you can imagine. She broke china during periods of silence, ran through the courtyard, slid down banisters, and whistled during Gregorian chants and climbed on the convent roof. 2 years later, when Baron von Trapp, a retired World War I hero, asked his sisters to send him a nun for 10 months to tutor his sick daughter, the nuns unanimously chose her. It was not love at first sight between her and Von Trapp, saying, I later grew to respect the father. I grew to love him. They would spend 10 years in Austria perfecting their classical, folk, and Baroque songs and regularly sang at Sunday masses. They would perform one public concert which brought offers for several contracts, though they turned them down. They would later accept them, doing concert tours since they needed to flee from the Nazis. From the 1940s, the Von Trapp family singers were important and commercially successful, singing and touring across America. But in the early 1950s, they were facing a crossroads. Their patriarch, George Von Trapp, passed away in 1947. The family turned their Alpine chalet into a Vermont resort, and Maria's own memoir, The Trapp Family Singers, was a bestseller in 1948, fading from view. They disbanded after a farewell tour in 1955. They did flee to America ultimately, if you couldn't tell. And one thing I was shocked by, because I knew they were real people before I researched this, I didn't know because the musical premieres in 1959. I didn't know that they were still active until like 4 years before. That was a bit crazy. So Mary Martin, Broadway legend, Rodgers and Hammerstein Golden Girl, had a friend and a colleague named Vincent J. Donahue, a Tony-winning director who was under contract at Paramount to develop projects for movies and televisions. One day, Donahue had an appointment to look through various properties owned by Paramount to see if they might be worth putting into development. They were shown two recent German movies based on Maria von Trapp's memoirs. Neither had been released in America. They'd been made in Germany, but they were quite successful in Europe. Paramount wondered if they were worth turning into an English language remake, perhaps a vehicle for Audrey Hepburn. Donahue thought the family of the Von Trapps would make an excellent vehicle, but not for Hepburn and not the movies. He went back to the East Coast and promptly screen the movies for Mary Martin and her manager husband, Richard Halliday. Although she had a big triumph on stage in the musical version of Peter Pan, by the late 1950s, Martin sorely needed a successful project. Her career, the height of her career, had been in decline since a decade earlier, as the heroine of Rodgers and Hammerstein's groundbreaking look at romance and racial prejudice in South Pacific. The musical was early as a massive phenomenon as Oklahoma, running for 1,925 performances. She got a Tony Award for the role. She adored Oscar Hammerstein since her early Hollywood stint in the 1930s, and the South Pacific only cemented her mutual love of Dick and Oscar. As she referred to them, as friends and colleagues. The three were eager to work together again at some point as a stage vehicle for Mary Martin. It was written by the team as weird as Rodgers and Hammerstein would be a dream come true. Because this is the thing, like this is very much the era. Because we talk about stunt casting a lot now, and building a production around a person, like it's almost like this new thing. When whole original musicals were written but around one single person. Because that same season you have Ethel Merman and Dolly, not Dolly. Should do that. Gypsy, sorry. So know your history, guys. You might not be a bit more idiotic. Um. They then tried to contact Maria von Trapp's agent to make an offer about the stage rights to her story, but every time Maria and Father Weisner checked in a major mission statement in the South Pacific, there was a letter from two people named Martin and Halliday in America about something called a Broadway show. Maria simply tore up the letters and considered it on her chosen vocation. And concentrated on her chosen vacation. Maria von Trapp, devout Catholic, doing mission work at this point. In Papua New Guinea, I believe. Months later, they would return to the United States by ship, dock in San Francisco, where they'd be met there by Richard Halliday and given 2 tickets to see Mary Martin in Annie Get Your Gun. Maria was impressed by Martin's talent, but could not see her playing her but could not see her playing her. The couple had negotiated away the stage and screen rights to the German producers of the German movie, which I think literally like translates to the Von Trapp family. She told the Hallidays that they were welcome to give it their best shot, but she had more important things to do and returned to the family lodge in Vermont. They would then get Leland Howard, the former agent and co-producer on South Pacific, to help secure the rights from the German representatives. They would then succeed in that, giving Maria von Trapp a small percentage of it, 3/8 of 1% of the eventual royalties, which I don't think is a great deal. But if it runs for as long as the Sound of Music already did, that's gonna fund a couple more mission trips to Papua New Guinea.
Yeah.
Hayward's choice for writing this script were Robert Lindsay and Russell Buckhorse. They had done Anything Goes, starring Ethel Merman. And some other stuff in the 1940s. They then decided to reach out to Rodgers and Hammerstein to write an original score. Uh, Flower Drum Song, which was scheduled to go into rehearsals that September, around the time that they were contacted. So they had to kind of wait, and then they did. They then would use the time to take the original movie that they were loosely basing it on and change a lot of aspects of it. There was a lot of talk about them having an entire plot point about the Von Trapps on Ellis Island. And like Maria being stopped and only released when they realize she can sing.
Incredible.
And it's like, okay, I'm so glad you guys did not do that. Um, but yeah, I mean, the captain and Maria marry each other late in the dramatic version, and their honeymoon is depicted nearly simultaneous with the beginning of the rise of the invasion of Austria in 1938, when really those two events happened a decade apart. Um, However, all of the Von Trapp's children's names were changed, or rather cliched operetta-like names, as well as their ages and sexes. So for the record, uh, Maria is renamed and becomes Maria Reina, a reference to the Austrian trained movie actress Lucille Reina. Um, Rodgers and Hammerstein would continue to work out their songs. Um, yeah, they were just kind of work for it. Originally, the intermission came after scene 8 when Maria sneaks off from the captain's party, early guitar and schnitzel in hand, heartbroken but determined to return to the Abbey. Rodgers and Hammerstein wanted the Act One curtain to come down to preferably an uplifting one. It could be climb every mountain. So Lindsay and Course moved the Act One to an earlier scene after Maria returns to the Abbey and is given advice by Mother Abbott. You take life to the face wherever you are. And that is the last one of Act One. Talking about how they consulted some nuns and they found them a massive point of guidance, which sure guys, happy they got you guidance. Um the captain was too was like they made the captain more stuck up. Um yeah, and they changed the fact the children could already sing in real life when Maria got there, but they made her like teach them how to sing. Um and they originally called it Love Song, but then it would be changed to the sound of music. After Rodgers and Hammerstein's lawyer found dozens of copyrighted shows bearing the former title and begged them to use something less susceptible to a plagiarism lawsuit. After the third week of rehearsal for, I believe, their out of town tryout in Connecticut, Oscar Hammerstein went for a routine physical and was diagnosed with cancer of the stomach. An operation was immediately scheduled for mid-September. It was partially successful, but um, with this, Hammerstein could still function, but he would miss both the final run-throughs in New York and the out-of-town engagement in New Haven, Connecticut. A showbiz trooper since his 20s, this would be the first time that the hands-on Hammerstein would miss the crucial rehearsals and tryouts for a new project. Rogers, a cancer survivor himself, told Mary Martin, "We're going to work as long as we can." Um, Despite his absence, the New Haven tryout went off well. Um, Hammerstein was able to join the company halfway through the 2 week Boston engagement, despite still recovering from surgery. He enthusiastically gave notes about the show, and very little needed to be fixed. One aspect of the second act did need attention. It felt that the captain should have a song to express his bittersweet attachment to his homeland. Hammerstein needed to marshal all of his energy, so Rogers took a pass at composing a simple folk song first. The final product took a week to finish. Oscar Hammerstein crafted the lyrics that to his final song that would ever write, Edelweiss. I did not know that was the last song he ever wrote.
That's kind of sad.
It's kind of sad, but it's like, what a perfect song
Yeah.
to be the last one you ever wrote. Um, Though most of the Boston reviews were raves, astute local critic Elliot Norton said that the creative team was still on edge of the catharsis of the show's stillness, stiffness, and corny operetta, falseness of the script. However, none of this mattered because the opening night. So the show had cost $500,000, which is actually quite a lot of money for a Broadway show back then,
Yeah.
considering
Nothing by today's standards, but
that wouldn't even get you to previews nowadays. That would get you laughed out of room nowadays. Um, but it had $2.3 million in advanced ticket sales as the new Rodgers and Hammerstein was one of the most anticipated evenings on Broadway. They would open at the Lunt Fontanne Theatre on the 16th of November, 1959, after 5 previews. The New York Brooks Atkinson for the New York Times would write, from the Trapp family singers, the makers of The Sound of Music have acquired two valuable assets, legendary personal courage and a love of singing. But no particular chance those are most winning characteristics of the bountiful musical drama that Mary Martin brought to the Lunt-Fontanne Theatre. Though Miss Martin now is playing an Austrian maiden, has longer hair than she had in South Pacific, she is still the same common touch that wins friends and influences the same sharp features, goodwill and glowing personality, and the same plain voice that makes music sound intimate and familiar. I felt like that was a really good way of being like, her voice isn't anything special, but it's very listenable.
mm,
Because when I first read that, I was like, are you really calling Mary Martin plain Brooks Atkinson? And then I read it a bit more, and I was like,
no.
that's a really nice way of wording that. Um, 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 The Sound of Music is Rodgers and Hammerstein in good form. Mr. Rogers has not written with such freshness of style since The King and I. Mr. Hammerstein has contributed lyrics and also have a sentiment of dexterity to his work. As performance and production of The Sound of Music is top shelf, you are likely to use your heart to the seven singing children, from doll-like adolescent of Laurie Peters to the chubby innocence one of Evina Lowe. It's disappointing to see the American musicals succumbing to the cliches of operetta, the fusion of the refusion of the 40s and cries of its lost fire, but The Sound of Music retains some of the treasures of the golden days, the melodies, rapturous singing, and Miss Martin. The Sound of Music is always moving, and occasionally it is also glorious. I found it really interesting that he was like, I miss the way the old days of musical theatre used to be. Because, like, musical theatre is a relatively new art form when this is being written.
Yeah.
Like, the golden age is just about to end. And you still sat around going, I miss the old
Musical
days.
theatre's changed. It's too modern.
No one let Brooks Atkinson know that before we renamed his theatre Six the Musical played there. He'd be rolling in his grave. Um, at the Tony Awards, they'd be nominated for Best Actress in a Musical for Mary Martin, Best Actor in a Featured Role for Theodore Blichtel, Best Actress in a Featured Role for Patricia Neway, and Laurie Peters and the Children. So Laurie Peters and the Children were one nomination.
Okay.
When I think, because Laurie Peters is obviously the oldest,
Mm.
Liesel, forgot her name for a second there. I think she could be her own nomination, and then have the children as a block.
Yeah. I do think that Liesel
Because she has 16 going on 17.
has the kind of most solo stuff out of all the children.
Yeah.
But then I guess the same way is obviously it's actually not, it is like one song more.
Yeah.
So I guess it does make sense.
But then
Her named and the children.
Yeah. That makes sense. That makes sense.
But I think if it was
Modern.
if this was happening today,
Yeah.
I reckon they just wouldn't nominate the children.
They would.
Or they would get like a special.
They would get a Matilda Tony.
They'd get a Matilda Tony.
Yeah.
And she'd go into like support zone.
Yeah, she would. Mm.
What year were these Tony Awards?
1960. Very interesting Tony Awards.
They are going to look. 1960.
It was the one where Gypsy was also out.
Oh. The 14th Tony Awards.
14th Tony Awards. Big things happening.
2 winners for Best Musical.
Well, look at that list.
God.
There's 3 classics on there, and one of them is the one of the winners isn't a classic. But it won the Pulitzer, so it had to win.
Um,
Best conductor and musical director, best scenic design, best producer, and best musical. It would win Best Actress in a Musical for Mary Martin, beating out Ethel Merman for Mama Rose in Gypsy. Best Actress in a Musical for Patricia Newey. Best Conductor and Musical Director. Best Scenic Producer. Best Scenic Design, sorry. Best Producer shared with Friello, and Best Musical also shared with Friello. It is kind of a stacked year.
yeah. 9 nominations, 5 wins.
Yep. Pretty good numbers.
Right, Take Me Along had 10 nominations, but I think 1 win.
You know what boggles my mind to this day?
What?
Why isn't Friello talked about more? Why aren't we reviving Friello if it was like the best thing ever? I know what it's about. It's about Mayor LaGuardia.
A reform Republican.
Yep. It's by the guys who did Hello Dolly.
Critical response.
It got the Pulitzer, did it not?
Yeah. Ooh. Some of these song titles.
See? Oh, okay. I Love a Cop and I Love a Cop were a prize.
And also The Bum won.
Okay. It was a different.
It changes some basic facts of LaGuardia's life.
Okay. Well, Evita does that.
Well, yes.
Fun fact, guys, Evita never met Che Guevara.
What?
I know, shocking. You'd think that they spent their entire life beefing each other and then they shared a waltz. But no, Andy lied to us. It would be the last Tony that Hammerstein would win, as he would die on the 23rd of August, 1960.
This is a ridiculous.
Sorry, what is the plot of Forella? Because I only saw that it was about Mayor LaGuardia, and I was like, okay, sure.
Mayor Fiorello H. LaGuardia is reading the comics over the radio because there is a newspaper strike. As he does so,
Newsies.
As he does so, the time changes to 1915, and the law office of my clients are eagerly awaiting to speak to LaGuardia. His law clerks assure the crowd that he will help one and all, regardless of their ability to pay. My God. Fiorello's secretary Marie and her friend Dora discuss crisis. Thea Almaragati, the leader of the women's shirtwaist strikers, has been arrested. LaGuardia promises to help the strikers. As the district leader Ben and his political buddies play poker, Marie introduces LaGuardia as a potential congressional candidate. They want to beat the corrupt machine of Tammany Hall.
I think we should revive this nowadays in light of the mayor's race.
Yeah. Oh. While helping the women strikers, Fiorello asks Marie out to dinner. But Thea, newly released from prison, arrives.
Scandal.
She asked Fiorello to dinner to plan strategy, and he breaks his date with Marie. Marie feels foolish for caring while he cares so little. Next year, Fiorello is campaigning for Congress, and Thea introduces him. My God, there's a lot of time skips in this.
I can imagine.
He wins the election, and then a year later, he enlists in the Air Force and proposes to Thea. LaGuardia's participation in the war is presented as a series of montages, staged and on film. With the war over.
Yeah, they've won the Pulitzer for drama.
My God, with both Marie and Thea waiting for him, he goes to Thea, who has agreed to marriage. Morris, the office manager, comforts Marie.
Oh.
End of Act 1.
That's only Act 1?
Act 2.
Oh, Jesus.
1929. LaGuardia runs for mayor of New York after he and Thea are married. Thea, home from a visit to the doctor, exclaims her love. At Dora and her husband Floyd, who has retired from the police force's home, the corrupt backers of Jimmy Walker
I don't trust grown men
Fiorello's
named Jimmy.
competitor for mayor.
Okay.
Meet. As one of the gang wants to have Fiorello killed at his public speech, Dora rushes to secretly warn Marie. However, Fiorello's campaign is in turmoil, with Ben being fired and his worry over Thea's deteriorating health. At LaGuardia's speech, the gang's plan to kill him is foiled, but Thea dies.
No!
And Marie, Morris, and Neil. Who is Neil? Sorry, have I missed who the fuck Neil is? No Neil has been mentioned. Okay. Oh my god. Thea dies. Marie, Morris, and Neil have to tell Fiorello. The race for mayor is won by Jimmy Walker.
No.
But Fiorello is inspired by tragedy to continue his campaign.
He's got to get an airport named after him.
In 1933, Ben and his political friends are, again, playing poker. Marie arrives and announces that she is quitting her job and will marry the very next man who asks her. That's a song.
Yeah.
She convinces Ben to return to Fiorello to help him win the upcoming mayoral election. She then helps Fiorello to overcome his fears of losing and run again. He runs with Ben's help and also asks Marie to marry him. She accepts and Fiorello finally becomes the mayor.
I need to see this!
Show.
I need to see
This is
Fiorello.
an incredible
Why?
show.
I don't understand why it's never been revived.
The musical contains several songs built around a group of machine politicians.
I think we need to do like call up Daniel Fish.
Ooh. This is so great. Who is Neil?
Go to cost. Oh no, go productions. They might have it there. It was Jimmy the musical. Oh, okay.
Now, how did this do? October 1969 to January 1970.
Oh, Wikipedia is 2 paragraphs long.
Wow. Well, this we might have to get in on. Oh, production's up at the top.
Okay,
Here's some cast.
so it has been done. Never in the West End.
Straw. Actually, okay.
Most recently, it was done in 2013.
Who was in the 2013 one?
Kate Baldwin.
I know this name. Lion King.
Beetlejuice.
That would be it. Sorry, we're going down a rabbit hole.
Guys, no, because Friella's always one of those ones you just kind of hear as like a fun fact, because it's like it's known for tying with The Sound of Music and winning the Pulitzer, and Hal Prince was the producer.
Yeah, that's what this kind of like.
That makes so much sense. Guys, look up a photo of Fiorello.
And
is he in Newsies?
no.
Roosevelt's in Newsies.
Roosevelt. This is, by the way, a great logo. Just I feel like I'm lost over that. It's a great logo. Oh, I want a poster. How can I get the Fiorello poster?
Hal Prince, I know you're up there in heaven listening to this.
It is one of only 10 musicals to win the Pulitzer Prize for Drama. Why?
That next to Normal, Hamilton, Rent.
How long is the cast album? I know what we're listening to after we finish recording. This entire album is 46 minutes long.
It's got so little streams. I'm single-handedly gonna erase the streams of
guys. Everybody start listening to Fiorello.
Yeah, we need to make this thing
Shut up. Can you please close that down? Oh, they don't have lyrics for any of the songs.
Outstanding. Well,
Oh, I'm getting into this.
they only want the real artists to be able to hear it. Maya, the
Yes,
musical.
sorry. This is another one. In 1985. Another great.
We don't do album art like not musicals art like we used to. What?
The, the name of the first couple songs in this one are Mayor, and then You Can Be a New Yorker Too, and then You're Not the Mayor, and then Mayor reprise, and then March of the Yuppies, Hootspa, Coalition. What you see is what you get. In Act 2, the songs are In the Park, Ballad, I Want to Be the Mayor, Subway, the last I Love New York song, Ballad, reprise, Testimonial Dinner, Good Times, We Are One, I'll Never Leave You, How'm I Doing? With a lot of like apostrophes. Mayor, reprise, My City. Damn. Anyways, back to the Sound of Music.
It's one of the greatest movie musicals ever made, The Sound of Music. We're about to talk about the movie now.
Yeah.
Meow. In June 1960, 20th Century Fox purchased the 15-year lease on the screen rights to The Sound of Music for 1.25 million. The largest amount of money paid for any property at the time. The deal marked 20th Century Fox's fourth acquisition of a Rodgers and Hammerstein musical, with a contract stating that the musical would not be released until the run would have finished on Broadway in June 19. What?
Piers calling me.
Oh, you should answer.
No.
Okay.
They'll call me back and like this is actually something I always do. I never pick up the first time. I don't want to look needy, you know? It is my boss calling me, but I don't want to look needy with them.
Okay, that's
It's a really late time for me to try and call me first. And it is going to be, when can you work next week? I'm in 2 days. Ask me then.
Yeah. Yeah, until the Broadway run ended. How 20th Century Fox began production on Cleopatra, which went $30 million over budget and nearly bankrupted the studio. Due to financial crisis of the studio, Danny Zurich took over as president of and The Sound of Music was given low priority. Although Henry Costa was slated to direct, Zurich contacted Ernest Leisman, who had been nominated for an Academy Award for West Side Story. We are talking about the time when movie musicals were in, and we should go back to that because they are bangers. And when done right, they will make you a ton of money at Wicked. No one likes to buy more tat than musical theatre people.
Besides us.
There are 1, 2, 3,
Don't look at the poster wall.
5 posters for musicals on your wall right now.
I want to look. Well, hold on. What 5?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Name them.
Hadestown,
Yeah.
Phantom,
Yeah.
Phantom,
Yeah.
Starkid,
Okay.
other Phantom.
You're not counting the Newsies banner?
Oh yeah, 6. You didn't pay for that though. We stole it off the floor.
I also didn't pay for the Hadestown one.
I
also
bought
didn't
it for
pay for
you.
this one. I stole this off the floor. In Japan.
She's so crazy, we can't take her anywhere.
Can't take me anywhere.
Anyway.
I just steal Phantom posters.
You're like the bandit who steals.
Yeah, we're actually not mentioning that there's a massive Tom Francis poster on the wall.
Yeah, we actually, the reason why there's
We're really glossing over it.
We're really glossing over it. We did fly to New York for the day, and then in the middle of the night.
We didn't even go and see the show.
No, we didn't do anything. We just landed, stole the Tom Francis poster, and then came back.
Yeah.
And went to the beach.
It was our carry-on.
Yeah.
There's also a theatre camp.
There was a
poster. Camp. And then a second Phantom of the Opera thing under that. Second.
Yeah, no, I was counting that.
Oh, not the Phantom of the Opera poster next to my Phantom of the Opera books.
That is of one of the movies.
One of the many, many movies. It actually has nothing to do with the Phantom of the Opera, by the way.
Yeah, of course it doesn't.
The plot of the movie.
No, of course it doesn't. Of course it doesn't. Why would it? Anyway.
Boop poster, does that count? It's not about Boop.
It's not about Boop,
Betty.
The musical. I think it closes this week.
We could go see Boop.
We could go see Boop. Yeah, in early March 1963, Roster replaced William Wyler, but Wyler was skeptical about the project, and Robert Wise, who directed West Side Story, was hired to helm the film in November. Casting began in January 1964. Julie Andrews landed the role of Maria, despite being relatively unknown, since Mary Poppins had not come out yet. Filming began on the 26th of March at 20th Century Fox Studios, and then was later moved to Austria to shoot the exteriors, although the filmmakers were met with incremental weather that put the production $1 million over budget. Returning to the studio in early July, filming interiors was continued through the August. Now, I am seeing that. Yeah.
9 minutes ago.
Yeah.
I'm addicted to your phone.
When you were looking at the plot of Forello. Yeah.
That was good.
That was a good time.
10 minutes ago, that's fucking hilarious.
10 minutes ago, we were having laughs.
10 minutes ago, we were really thinking about.
I don't know if you guys have ever been to Salzburg. I have. There are signs basically saying The Sound of Music was here. Everywhere. No disrespect to anyone, any of my hypothetical family members who might have lived in Salzburg their entire lives, might be listening to this. They're definitely not. But if you guys are, first off, hi. Second of, no hate, but there's nothing else going on in Salzburg except from The Sound of Music. I'm literally not joking with you. But when I watched the movie this year, are you looking at the Spirit Week as well? I saw that.
A Proctor-themed ride at Soul Cycle.
Yep. Those are expensive. That's a good deal. I watched it and I went, oh, I've been there. Basically, the lesson I took from watching The Sound of Music was that I spend too much time in Austria. So they filmed at the Mirabell Palace and Gardens, the Wolfham Fortress. If you guys go to that fortress, they do really good grapefruit beer.
Lovely.
And it's the size of your head because you're in fucking Austria. And then they also did some filming on the lake. Don't want to talk about it. They also did some filming on the lake in a town called St. Wolfgang. I've also been there. Again, I've spent too much time there. I would like to go back and see Vienna because I don't know Vienna like that. I went there for 2 days and had a great time. But anyway, The Sound of Music had its first screening test in Minneapolis. It was celebrated with 2 standing ovations at the intermission as well as at the end of the film. It had its world premiere on the 2nd of March 1965 in New York City, followed by a posthumous humanitarian award presentation for Oscar Hammerstein, who died 5 years earlier, not long after the production opened on Broadway. The Sound of Music opened nationwide on April 1st in select theatres as a roadshow release, with reserved seating to accommodate its 70mm format and stereophonic sound system. Several months later, The Sound of Music was released internationally and became the first US production dubbed completely into foreign languages with dialogue and music. Despite its vast popularity with audiences, the picture received mixed reviews, with critics who complained that the story was overly sweet and banal. Yet, 1 year after its release, The Sound of Music continued to sell out theatres on reserved seating basis. And 20th Century Fox anticipated even greater earnings as the picture moved into wider releases. The number of cities across the nation earned Outstanding Achievement Awards for the studios, having broken their audience records. The Sound of Music's initial theatrical run lasted over 4 years, which is crazy, but I don't think there's much else going on. The longest initial release of any film in history at that time. It was the first movie to gross over more than 100 million. Today, The Sound of Music remains the sixth highest grossing film of all time, with funds adjusted for inflation. It's your turn to talk.
Oh.
Synopses.
The Sound of Music tells the tale of a young nun who is dispatched to serve as a governess for the 7 children of a widowed naval captain. Her growing relationship with the children, coupled with her generosity of spirit, gradually captures the heart of the stern captain.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is it. That is Sound of Music.
Where do we want to start with our thoughts?
Sound of Music is a really good film.
I really love the film. And notice how we're saying film. Because one thing I found is only been read once on Broadway and twice in the West End.
Once they made that film, they did not need to do any more stage productions. Most people
know it as a film, and I only want to engage with it as a film.
There is still a part of me that is still like shocked isn't the right word, but I still forget that it was a stage show first. Like in my head,
I know
it's just a film.
I know it was a stage show, but unlike because I mean it is probably one of the most iconic films of all time. I can say that without people getting annoyed at me and being like, you know nothing about film, which is kind of true, but I think I'm right on this. Oh, mine's gone down. But The Sound of Music, it's iconic. And it's an iconic film, and so it doesn't need its musical, doesn't need the show anymore. My only thing, and I was watching it with my friend, who we were brain dead by this point. We were haggard with dissertations and stuff. So we were like, let's watch The Sound of Music. And we had to do it across 2 nights.
God.
Well, it's really long because they basically just put the stage show on film, and they do have an intermission.
I think that's the thing, is like the film is incredible, but it is also just the stage show. So that both don't need to exist.
No.
And the film is just so good.
Yeah.
That it's not like... I'm trying to think of an example of this. And the one that's coming to mind, and this might be because of last night.
Yeah.
Like, that Hairspray live.
Well, they did Sound of Music live with Trump Supporter.
Yeah. The lives have never gone well.
Hairspray live, I think, was the closest, or Grease.
Grease live was pretty good, from my memory. Hairspray live, I feel like, was okay. It had a really good cast.
I loved it.
But it's just... It's the same with, like, the Hairspray film and Hairspray live and then the Hairspray stage show.
Yeah.
I've never felt like we've needed all 3.
Yeah.
The film is fine on its own. Sometimes it's fun to have the stage show. But, you know, I'm never like, well, we need to go and see Hairspray.
Yeah, I love Hairspray and I love the music, but I've never seen it.
You know, we've got Hairspray at home.
Yeah. But it's kind of like that, but like Sound of Music has become so entrenched in our culture, where my one pitch is like, we're gonna do Sound of Music again. Can we fuck ass it?
Yeah.
Call up Daniel Fish.
Yeah.
Get him to do his weirdest work.
Yeah. I think we were talking about the Rachel Zegler rumors. Talking a lot about Rachel Zegler.
Let me just say, I would love to hear her sing that score.
I would do literally anything in the world to see Rachel Zegler play Maria. But
when I first told it to my friend who loves classical musicals and loves the Sound of Music, her first thought was, no, we don't need another movie. And I was like, no, it's a stage show. And she was like, oh, okay.
I think that's the thing, is I think because it was a stage show, it would be fine. And people would care less. But one thing, I just don't think we need it. Like that, there's a reason that it's never really been revived since the movie came out.
Yeah.
There's not any need to, there's no demand for it.
I mean, I do agree with the fact that like The Sound of Music is a current story in a lot of ways.
Yeah. But it's not like the film outdates it.
No, the film holds up.
Yeah.
In all of its stern messaging. And it does that thing that I love when pieces of art do, where it's like, we're going to be woke. We're not going to tell you that we're preaching about this.
Yeah.
But we are going to be. But we're not going to be like, and now it's time to tell you about all the evils of the world and how we're so much better because we're talking about them.
To Katy Perry's Raw or something.
Yeah.
Just to throw out an idea that I'm not referencing.
Throw out an idea, no.
I think the other thing with the Rachel Zegler revival, the idea of a Rachel Zegler revival, is I don't think it's fair to her. Because people are going to be like, why isn't a white woman playing Maria?
Because she kind of does look a bit Austrian.
She absolutely does.
For her next to my Austrian cousins. And she does have German ancestry.
But the issue is that the film is so iconic.
Yeah, and so beloved.
She doesn't look like Julie Andrews.
And Julie Andrews I love.
So therefore I will
boycott
Rachel Zegler.
People are so fucking stupid. It's also like kind of a Christmas movie for a lot of people.
Yeah. My mum loves it.
My uncle loves it, which is actually like strange because he only likes. Well, he used to only like one, and then he watched The Sound of Music and was like, "This slaps." And those are Fiddler on the Roof and Sound of Music, and I can't even get him to go see a production of Fiddler on the Roof. It's like I have it at home. Scott only knows what he won't go see The Sound of Music live.
Yeah.
But I mean, one thing I think we've all forgotten is me and Now have been joking the past couple of days that Jamie Lloyd is the wokest man in theatre.
He is. Jamie Lloyd is a massive feminist. That's what I've realised recently.
Yeah. Jamie Lloyd, wokest man in theatre. Should I tell you who used to be the wokest man in theatre? Rodgers and Hammerstein.
Yeah. We've had a bit of a gap.
We've had a bit of a gap with wokeness. Sometime I think got there a bit. Sometime was a bit woke. Who else was a bit woke? Lynn? Permission to Live Out?
That's not wokeness, that's being a liberal.
Jonathan Larson? No. Rodgers and Hammerstein, wokest men in theatre. They do basically all of their work is like, accept other people. Be appreciative. Stand up to fascism and don't be racist.
Yeah.
Understanding is the way forward. And the fact that their works have been almost considered like these old classics that don't apply to nowadays, to our lives nowadays, kind of infuriates me. Because the more and more I think about their work, the more and more I'm like, crap, we do just kind of need a Rodgers and Hammerstein going at all time to remind us all to be civil to each other.
And I think that is what's good about the Sound of Music movie, is that it is fucking constantly on.
Yeah, like it's become one of those retroactive Christmas movies where no one can really tell you why it's a Christmas movie. I think because Favorite Things is used in a lot of Christmas advertisements.
Yeah.
Because there's that line about snowflakes, white paper bags, and snowflakes on kittens.
Yeah. Brown paper packages tied up with strings or whatever. Like the concept of a present.
Yeah. But I wonder if the only way to do Sound of Music today and have it really land would... What are you laughing at now?
Did you see that ITV and Disney Plus have a partnership?
Yes! And I saw that tweet!
Someone being like, Coronation Street. And someone said log flume ride, but instead of a log, it's Richard Hillman's 1996 Silverford Galaxy hurtling into the canal. What a show.
But I wonder if the only way for Sound of Music to work as a... Because I think it ultimately works as a stage show. But the only way to like have it really grab people's attention that isn't just, oh, it's a stage show on stage these days would to tear out the rule book and completely reimagine it. And I wonder if that could be done. I don't know. I don't know. I would like to see it. And when I was watching the movie, I was giving my pitch on how they could completely redo it and make it updated for modern times. And my friend was getting more and more horrified as I kept talking, but because I was so brain dead, I cannot remember a word I said. I think I had it reset in America.
Oh, probably.
And like they were in some like deep red state. And they had to flee up north.
Yeah.
And like they were at a mega church. But yeah, like, do I have anything else to say on Sound of Music? Not really.
Not really.
It really slaps. Rodgers and Hammerstein, wokest men in the book.
Love it.
Love it. Julie Andrews never die. I'm deeply worried about Julie Andrews dying.
I know.
I worry about this like once a week. I'm like, God,
Oh,
Julie
shit.
Andrews, don't. She's like in her 80s or
Mm.
90s. She's like in her 90s, and I'm deeply concerned that Julie Andrews is going to die one day.
89.
I know, I know. But it has been able to live on in our public consciousness in a way that because even like West Side Story, even though it's considered a classic, we don't talk about it all the time.
Mm. It's one of those things that I think like is just kind of in everyone's mind.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone doesn't know Sound of Music.
I mean, as I say, I go to Salzburg for a family wedding, and everywhere it is literally Sound of Music was here.
Yeah.
There are tour buses for the Sound of Music. There are basically religions formed around the Sound of Music, and Rodgers and Hammerstein, you need to do some of your best work.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think else to say. Andrew Lloyd Webber would put it on in the 2000s at the Palladium,
Fair play.
and he did one of his reality shows called "How Do You Solve a Problem Like Maria?"
Oh.
Yeah.
They got to get their shows back on.
But okay, so they did. I was talking about this last week actually. So they did it with Greece, not Greece. Mamma Mia in Greece, but they were all too nice, and there wasn't a level of camp.
I'm gonna make a fake season of Love Island,
Mhm.
and then they're gonna turn up to the villa,
Yeah.
expecting it to be Love Island, and there's Andrew Lloyd Webber in his throne,
Yeah.
and we're casting for. Now, what the fuck could he do?
Something. Oh, he does. West Side Story. He loves West Side Story. My Fair Lady. He loves My Fair Lady.
Yeah. Cats.
It's got to be a show that he kind of hasn't written. Because he like half of them were ones that he didn't write, and half of them were ones that he just really loved and was producing.
The stage production of Theatre Camp
Yeah,
that we're dreaming up.
we're dreaming up, and then Ben Platt's also there for some reason.
Yeah.
Ben Platt and Molly Gordon have to talk about their friendship issues live on camera.
Didn't they refollow? One of them refollowed someone.
One of them have refollowed something, and so the relationship is on the mend. But as we all know, I will continue to monitor the situation.
Come to Esme for updates.
Come to me for updates. I'm going to be Molly Gordon and Ben Platt friendship updates. Yeah, we need to do the reason why Mamma Mia I Have a Dream kind of failed was because Andrew Lloyd Webber wasn't there to preside over proceedings and sit in a throne and have people sing to once their hopes and dreams were slashed.
Yeah. We've been watching some really good early 2000s reality.
Guys, we've been watching so
Wife
much
Swap.
Wife Swap.
Wife Swap is
Oh
an
my
incredible
God,
show.
Wife Swap is
Oh
stunning.
my God.
We are about to go watch some.
We need to finish this recording so we can watch.
We actually
Swap.
probably have time for another episode of Wife Swap until I have to go.
Thank you guys so much for listening.
Thank you guys
next
so much
week,
for listening.
we might do an episode, we might not. We won't get your hopes
It
up.
might be Blood Brothers.
If not, it'll be like 2 weeks out.
If not, we'll be 2 weeks out, and we will be returning with we don't know.
Who knows? Something.
You don't actually have an opinion for that week?
Yes, we do.
We don't.
Well, if we're not doing Blood Brothers next week,
Oh, we'll push it.
then we will move Blood
The
Brothers.
next episode will be Blood
We
Brothers.
just don't know when.
We don't know when. I'm busy. I'm graduating. Nell's working, and then I'm going to Canada.
I'm also graduating, by the way.
Nell's also grad. If we do take a break, by the time we come back, we'll both have degrees.
Yeah.
Anyway, see you guys next week
Bye.
or whatever. Bye bye.